Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley, and I am hanging out once again in my hometown, the loveliest village on the plains, Auburn, Alabama, with two of the Yellowhammer State's favorite superstars. First up, immediately to my left, he's one of my oldest friends. You know him, you love him, friend of the pod,
Miles Bugg.
And sitting to his left, Australia's finest export by way of Montgomery, Alabama. It's our friend
Nick Morgan Moore.
Hell yeah. Welcome back to the show, fellas.
What's up?
Yeah.
So we'll just get into it because it's not going to get any better, I don't think, but we'll see.
Buckle
like
in,
2025.
listener. Put seatbelts on your ears.
Yeah, so Miles found over at the goalpost.
Good old goalpost. Gotta love it.
A drink that we're going to try today. What do we have for him today, Miles?
Rap Star energy drink. Mixed berry flavor.
Not Rockstar, Nick. Rap Star.
Rockstar I've heard of. Rapstar. Wow.
Yeah. Manufactured for Rap Star Energy Drink LLC. Always good to have a little bit limited liability company.
Yeah.
Atlanta, GA 30303.
Yeah, well, the website says they're based out of Fayetteville, which is 22 miles south of Atlanta,
Yeah.
but hey, whatever. Yeah, I'm, well, let's go ahead and try it, because like I said, it's not getting...
And while, it's not getting any good. It's not getting any colder.
What flavor is this?
Mixed berry.
Mixed berry.
Which gave me hope because I just figured it was a rewrapped Red Bull.
Oh, yeah! Damn! Woo!
Yummy.
Also,
And, just to prove we're back down south, I brought red Solo cups, y'all.
Also, I'm still kind of freaked out by the fact that they don't put the caffeine content on the side of the can.
Yeah, and I couldn't really...
Did you look that up?
I tried. I definitely tried. And we're going to talk about it, but
I mean, it's got everything else on the side
this
of
is
that
going to
fucking
hurt
can.
my heart.
Well, yeah, hand
Nick,
that down
your
to
poison?
Nick. Here you go.
I can smell it from not being very close to my face at all.
It is a
It
Red
is.
Bull. It is a fucking... It's a Red Bull knockoff. I can already tell.
Cheers.
Cheers, y'all. Here we go.
A little bit more tart than a Red Bull.
It's the least bad Red Bull ripoff I've ever had.
No,
I'll say that.
it's like a sugar-free Red Bull. You know, the sugar-free Red Bull here.
This is sugar-free, right?
Is it?
Here, let me check.
I don't know.
Let's see. Nope.
Doesn't taste like it.
24 grams. Only 24 grams. That's like what?
For a 12-ounce can, that's a lot.
But it does have all of your B vitamins.
And your entire daily necessary requirement of taurine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sodium citrate, taurine, natural and artificial flavor. And then caffeine.
I can taste it when a drink has taurine in it. That's got taurine twang.
Absolutely. What are we giving it? What are we saying?
Oh, it's I mean, I've had worse. I've definitely had worse. I'll give it, a 3 out of 5.
As I've said, Red Bull's my bottom basement. So with that in mind, because it is sort of a Red Bull ripoff flavor, it's the best one I've ever had. I'm giving it like a 0.7. Which
Really?
is crazy for a Red Bull flavor. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Cat Food
Yeah,
Sausage.
I'm under a 2. I'm definitely
Really?
like a 1.5. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Red Bull flavor either. I was addicted to them years ago, and like kicking energy drinks is harder than kicking heroin. Like
Really?
the withdrawals that you go through are heavy.
Did you switch it out with coffee or anything like that?
I cold turkeyed it, and I
Whoa,
felt my
wow.
brain opening. Like I had
God damn,
a
dude.
terrible 3 days, and then I started up on heroin, and then I was good.
God damn.
But also, they taste like a goat's nutsack. So yeah, that's
I honestly can't think of the last time I've had a Red Bull.
Yeah.
willingly. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
straight up. Like if I'm having energy drinks, I mean, you're going to doing not a bang because Christ, I'm not that much of a junkie, but like a Ghost, or if
What? That's the top.
Yeah,
That's the
Ghost
Rolls
solid.
Royce.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'll drink a Ghost
yeah, but
willingly.
there's only like 200 mgs in there, or my preferred Bing.
Bing. Yeah, the other bang. I prefer Bada myself.
So
All right.
We have fun.
So, according to the website, by the way, Rap Star is more than a drink.
You
It's a
don't say.
statement. We're proud to be the first true energy drink brand that speaks directly to hip hop, sports, and entrepreneurial culture. I was like, I beg to differ. I think that's kind of the most cliche shit ever.
this is a kind of lifestyle.
Right. With the possible exception of hip hop, perhaps. I don't, but I'm sure
Yeah.
there's someone out there making something similar for hip hop fans. But they say from partnering with top artists, athletes, and influencers to showing up at the biggest music lifestyle events events, we've proven that this drink is bigger than just caffeine. It's about pushing limits and fueling greatness. And I was like, that is literally the copy on every one of these. Something exactly like this.
What's their version of Flute Tog?
Is
it just them
funny you ask? They
throwing shit into the Chattahoochee?
All right. So the founder is a guy named Johnny Kassflo Thomas.
Did he miss the H?
There's no way. There's no H. It's Kass.
The sort of name
FLO.
Yeah, it's the sort of name
John.
you expect someone on the run from Thai police for hitting a police officer to have.
Well, so he runs Kassflo Ventures out of Atlanta. And I am almost positive that this is the same Johnny Thomas who had a small role in a 2000 indie film called Black and Blue, where someone with that name played a character named Kassflo. 2 words instead of 1, and I'm not sure which came first.
Circles within circles.
Okay,
spheres
no,
within
I can see
spheres.
why you would make that inference.
Yeah, but I can't figure out what came first. Like, was that his nickname already? And it was like Danny Trejo in Heat, where he's just Trejo, because they're like, whatever, doesn't matter. Or maybe he was I've never seen this film. It barely has any information about it on IMDb. But I was like, maybe he thought he would be known as this forever. This would be his
nom de guerre, if you will.
This is Mr. T. This is his,
yeah.
Like how Jim Varney will forever be Ernest.
Bingo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Yeah, precisely. And Thomas seems to be going about marketing this product on the Bang model. He has hot ladies handing out free drinks on college campuses, festivals, and apparently later this week at Rick Ross's car and bike show.
See, I saw that on the website. You got the year wrong. It's 2024, Rivers.
Oh no, they got one coming up.
What?
It's an annual.
Yeah.
He's sleeping on the annual Rick Ross bike. And
I am sleeping on shit, man.
But you are correct. The advertisement for the Rick Ross car show on the Instagram for Rapstar is from the previous year. But I
they
can't.
didn't update the poster, but they're like, it's the same.
Yeah, they didn't update the why would we update the website? Everybody knows this. Come on.
Yeah, and the Instagram does seem to be Kassflo trying to insinuate himself into celebrity stuff.
Okay.
Where he had an ad for the energy drink, and then it was like a gas pump, like get fueled up with Rapstar. And then inside the gas pump, he had a little TV where he had just taken one of Rick Ross's Instagram posts and like put it in the middle as if he was endorsing the product. But if you watch the video, Rick Ross does not mention the product at all. It's clearly just for his car and bike show.
Holy shit.
And he's talking about how, the other artists that are going to be there and stuff like that. So it's all like very confusing because he does seem to be like strangely like a clout chasing guy, but this was a rabbit hole. I found much more. So I never thought I would arrive at a point in my life where I needed LinkedIn, but here we are. This is from his LinkedIn about Kassflo. Mr. Thomas's admiration and love for rap and hip hop music inspired him to pursue his dream of becoming a rap artist. His steadfast pursuit of that dream led to the creation of his own record label, Street Talk Records, in Atlanta, Georgia. Within a short period of time, Johnny Thomas, along with his music partners, landed a record deal with Sony Music Entertainment. It doesn't say for who. The second largest global recorded music company. He would collaborate on many projects with renowned artists such as Akon, Lil Jon, Swizz Beatz, Genuine, and Young Jeezy, just to name a few. I was unable to confirm any of that.
Yeah.
So he produced a TV show.
You mean YouTube short?
Okay.
I can't tell what it is. He's promoting a media event. This is like 8 years ago.
Oh, God.
And it also might just be a DVD because he had posted a picture where you could see where you're supposed to print it out and had like the spine with the word sideways.
Yeah.
But it was called Who's America's Next Rap Star?
Is it Cypher Kanai?
I mean, who knows? It might be Cypher Kanai. He refuses to be a mannequin. Welcome to the dark side. You can call him Anakin. Yes. Shout out to ATL. Shout out to Little 5 Points. But like I said, I couldn't tell what the hell this was. Maybe it's his sizzle for like he was trying to sell a reality show.
Yeah.
But that's not clear, at least on LinkedIn. Other subsidiaries of Kassflo Ventures Entertainment LLC include, and I hope this is what I think it is, Kassflo Ventures presents stand up for Jesus.
Oh, buddy.
I'm assuming that he probably means
You
like
guys.
stand up and be counted as a Christian or something like that, but it's way funnier to imagine it's
If it's a Christian stand-up comedy thing, that would be even funnier.
Yeah, dude.
I choose to believe that one.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
but unfortunately it appears to just be an image on his LinkedIn. I couldn't find a link to this. I couldn't find any more information, but what I could find was Kassflo Ventures presents music management.
Oh, you don't say.
So his music management company is called Music Management, which is just fucking great.
Well,
I mean, sometimes you just need to put it on the tin. You know?
Just spell it out for the people. Sometimes they're slow on the uptake.
It's like those old movies where they can't buy, a brand, so they just put beer on the cans, like in Critters.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I found this great little advertisement for music management. And again, this is all from about 8 years ago on his LinkedIn. So it's a graphic that says Music Management Incorporated. We make deals happen. And it's an ad for the Stop Playing Yourself package.
Rivers, what is the Stop Playing Yourself package?
I'm so happy you asked, Miles. For only $5,000, you can get 1 music video, 2 DJ service, and then they explain that is get your song in the hand of 40,000 DJs. I was like, are there 40,000 DJs?
You live in Los Angeles, Rivers.
I suppose.
that's how Friday happened. Friday was a vanity.
It's true.
Yeah.
And he says you'll be on the same platform as Def Jam, Epic, Atlantic, Universal, Interscope, etc. It's like those last
Does he mean Spotify?
Yeah, I suppose.
Or YouTube?
Also, you get a live interview and a rotation on World Star Hit Radio.
Oh.
And that's been so long, I don't remember World Star having anything besides fighting on there, but and music videos. But finally, worldwide digital distribution. So that's the Stop Playing Yourself package.
So YouTube and Spotify.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, YouTube and
Oh, no,
Spotify.
and he'll play your song over two bums fighting.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You know, he just has a ham radio set up in his car and he just drives around Atlanta, just making sure nobody catches him.
So just to tell you what kind of music that you get with this package, and the artist on here is My Girls, which is spelled Migrlz, featuring Coughlin, and this is
he some sort of Svengali? Is this the same shit?
This is like Rebecca Black Friday stuff where he's just making money off of suburban people, giving him $5,000 to do.
Well, you know what? Good for him.
You know what?
In terms of grifts.
Yeah, in terms of grifts, that's actually pretty benign.
At least there's a product.
It's on the more ethical side of grifts.
He's not giving people fake shit to take to make them like their liver get clean or whatever.
Yeah.
He's just grifting idiots.
Yeah, and there is a product at the end of it. In this case, it's a music video.
It's not Rapstar?
I don't know, because I think he made Rapstar in conjunction with Who Wants to Be America's Next Rap Star, because he invites a girl group and he gets them on his bus, and then they start singing a song called Crank That Hello Kitty.
Crank that Hello Kitty dance, crank that Hello Kitty, crank that Hello Kitty dance, crank that Hello Kitty, oh crank that Hello Kitty, Hello Kitty.
Why does this sound familiar?
I don't know. It has 6,000 views, and it's a bunch of kids singing about Hello Kitty. So that's the first thing you got.
Pretty sure you get on a watch list for...
And that's an old one. I was going to include something more modern. This is a woman named Jennifer Lynn doing a Christmas tune from Music Management called, and this is only... This is a LinkedIn exclusive, y'all. This is called Oh No, No Snow.
I have no words. Is that him?
No. That's some other guy. I don't know who that guy is.
I'm sorry. You quit that on that weird time.
That old lady fucks. Okay, she paid $5,000 to get a film clip video made.
Yeah,
to let the world know that she fucks.
Yeah.
She lives in Buckhead. Her kids don't talk to her. She's like, fuck these people. I'm just trying to defend all my shit so they don't get goddamn thing out of my course.
And she's like feeding a guy cookies. Who's dressed as an elf.
It's very horny. Very horny.
Yeah.
For the listener, she has white hair.
Yeah.
She was very well put together.
Yeah,
older woman, yes. She looks kind of like from the mom from fucking Brady Bunch. What's the actress?
Florence Henderson.
Yeah, like an old
She's got a Florence Henderson vibe.
Florence Henderson from that one Mystical and Mark Ronson video.
Yeah. Now, I was like, all right, this guy's like, he's got kind of a grift going on with a lot of different avenues. He's a hustler. He's got a bunch of irons in the fire. And then I got to 2020. In 2020, Thomas and his best friend / business partner, a guy named Reggie Carr, which best I can tell is not the former New York Giants player and is not one of the perpetrators of the Wichita Massacre. Another Reggie Carr started a website together. And that website is I'mATrumpster.com.
Oh, wow. Oh, are they right-wing grifting now?
And they called it a, quote, platform to combat fake news. And also a way to distribute clothing and accessories with their I'm a Trumpster logo. And they also started a short-lived I'm a Trumpster radio show. That's right. Yes, they were part of the Minorities for Trump 2020 movement.
You're trying to get in on that money. Yeah.
Absolutely. And they also got a bus. And from best I could tell, I think this is the same bus as I Want to Be a Rap Star. And the same
it's just
bus.
a different rap.
Yeah, they just got a new rap. And it's them and Trump on the side of the bus.
Oh, God.
And
Please tell you have a picture.
if you could see that, the guy tipping his hat, that's Kassflo on the front. And I like that he's bigger than Trump on the bus.
Oh, yeah.
That's Reggie at the back. So, yeah, and I think this is the same bus that they were using to record the My Girls video.
Yeah.
But yeah, it says...
I guess use your resources, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, and the I'm a Trumpster logo, by the way, they were really betting the house on that. It is just the Mission Impossible font. So I was like,
yeah, I see it. Yeah, fuck.
But it says on the side, I'm a Trumpster 2020 Minorities Tour is what it says. So they spent their own money driving around Colorado, which is Carr's home state, to try to win black votes in a blue state. And they apparently also started the I'm a Super PAC. Super PAC. They plan to use that to produce music and documentary films to, quote, educate minorities about the value and benefits of being a conservative. And of course, that was then. This is now. Yeah. Johnny has scrubbed everything about the stage of his life from the internet, except apparently they forgot their SoundCloud password because that's still there for the radio show. So
shit.
That's how I found it.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, shit.
God damn, dude.
Yeah. So, yeah.
You got to write that shit down, man.
Yeah, stick with the ethical grifts of ripping off rich white people, giving them of music video.
That's kind of what I was going to say. Is I'm not 100% against this. It's like, you know what? Hey, take it from them. Who cares?
Yeah, otherwise they're just going to spend it on super stupid shit like, Trump or the Republicans.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, you know what?
Trying to double dip and
get scanned by some people in Moldova, just selling them bullshit.
Right. So, all that said, I'll be like, hey, you know what, Kassflo? Get your money, dude. That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't, I'm not that mad at it. But yeah, he just appears to be a extremely religious man. So, okay. They fuck your head up when you're a kid. That's all right. I'm sorry. Anyway, that's Rap Star.
I'm taking off half a star.
You taking off half a star?
I'm taking off half a star.
Oh, wow.
I'm keeping 3. That's fine.
Yeah.
And if anything,
I think I was at a 1.5. We're down to that to a 1.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think out of all the energy drink companies you've covered so far, this one is the most clear grift, whereas all the rest of them are just kind of weird fucking old dudes trying to just think they're young, whereas these guys are like, no, we're just here to make money, man.
Yeah. I would agree with
we
that.
just fit ourselves into, and all the rest of those fucking people are just already rich.
They should make an energy drink just called Grift Juice, just off the bat. Like, I'm doing a grift, but you're gonna go do a grift too. And when you're doing your grift, you need Grift Juice.
I mean, that's a great marketing angle. Is just being like, hey, we're a fucking scam, dude. We're sending this money directly to.
We are living in a post-shame society. It's
Yeah.
2025.
It's
Like,
2025, man. Everybody
no
knows.
such thing as a bottom line.
No Shame is a great name for an energy drink.
Oh.
Shameless, the energy drink. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, last thing to mention, the About Us section on the
I saw
website.
the 3 pictures, but nothing else.
It's just 3 pictures. It's a picture of a guy painting, a guy playing the drums, and a guy listening to headphones. Just in case you wanted to know some stuff about it, that's what they want you to know.
All I wanna be is a rap star when I grow up. Bust shows on BET when I blow up. Fans from miles away, they gon' show up. POC is what the crowd gon' go up. All I wanna be is a rap star when I grow up.
So, second rabbit hole for the day. So, I saw a headline. It's rare that I do a legitimate double take where I was like, what? Which that headline was from the Telegraph in the UK. Sea Shanty band embroiled in modern slavery row. And, you know, when I read it, I was like, if this is sex trafficking,
Yeah.
I'm going to be fucking pissed.
That's my first question.
Yeah.
First question. Well, actually, no. My first question is yar. Right, that's my first question.
Yeah.
But then my second question is, whom were being trafficked?
Right. Well,
So,
and the third question, of course, is when will the Weller man come to bring us sugar and tea and rum? But so I was like, if this is sex trafficking, fuck you.
yeah.
And the best
Yeah.
part is like, there's some weird shit happening for sure, but no.
Okay, good. Now we can all breathe out and have a little giggle.
I mean,
Exactly, because this is
I'm not
actually
saying-
funny and not just
No, well,
horrifying.
I'm not saying this doesn't get unspeakably fucking dark. Because it does.
Well, that means it's going towards child exploitation labor.
Well, no,
Hooray!
no, it's not even that. It's just like, man, you got the damn Diddy trial on TV right now. Everybody's doing the human trafficking. Like,
Everybody's doing the human
Old
trafficking.
hat.
it's
You know,
old hat. Give me something
damn it.
fresh. And fresh
Invent a new crime.
Yeah, come on.
give me something fresh, like the mist that rolls off the Atlantic at dawn. So, back in late 2020, when the boredom and madness of the pandemic was reaching a fever pitch, a curious online trend began on TikTok. People all over the world were singing sea shanties. The internet's newfound appreciation for pirate music would, of course, lead a gang of suburban RV salesmen and Munchausen by proxy Facebook moms to stage a mutiny at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th.
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi's interns had to swab the poop desk. Yes, I'm blaming January 6th on sea shanties. But
A to B to C. I see it.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, the connections are there.
That's when it happened. I remember it was like December of 2020. Kids are singing the Blow the Man Down. And the next thing you know, everyone's, climbing the walls at the Capitol. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to read first what has been reported, and then I'm going to go into the crazy rabbit hole I found because there is what's being reported, what they can say officially.
Yeah.
And then there is a trap door where if you dig any deeper, you fall forever down the craziest goddamn thing
So
ever.
Yeah.
when they're pressing you into sea service, that's called being
Yeah, well,
shanghaied.
Shanghai.
Yeah. And you're joking, but that's gonna happen later. Allegedly. So I'm gonna give you the straight dope. This is all in the newspaper. This is Fiona Parker writing for The Telegraph. So just 2 years ago, the old-time sailors were riding high on a wave of renewed interest in sea shanties.
I'm sorry, Old Time Sailors is the name of the band?
That's the name of the band.
Really?
The Old-Time Sailors.
What were they doing? Were they doing fucking nursing homes? Come on.
Oh,
Something a little bit more
Much more
creative.
creative.
Yeah, come
that's
on.
that's very derivative.
So, a TikTok-fueled renaissance of folk music, banjos, and foot stomping saw the West County Sea Shanty Band play at Glastonbury for the first time
You're kidding.
with a 20-piece group led by Captain Nick Moffat. So, sorry, Nick. I'm going to be saying Captain Nick a lot.
No, that's okay.
You can be Rear Admiral Nick,
That's fine.
or Admiral Nick. There we go.
No, Rear Admiral.
Yeah. So they are, as of this recording, set to return to Glastonbury next month, which is fucking crazy. Also, 20-piece bands, by the way.
Yeah, that's a big
It's an orchestra, man.
That's like a Mumford and Sons and an Of Mice and Men together.
This is Mumford and Sons, grandsons, cousins, aunties, uncles. This is everybody.
That's a high school band.
Yeah. The Polyphonic Smee.
He did it, you son of a bitch.
Oh, boy. So, however, the group has now become the subject of bizarre online speculation following the arrest of 6 men in the wake of a collision between a van and a lorry in Devon, southwest England, on Monday.
A lorry's a type of truck.
It's a
It's
truck.
not just some lady named Lori.
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
For people listening, a lorry is a truck. So the collision on Dolven Road happened at 7:30 a.m. on Monday, May 19th. Sergeant Tom Otley of Devon and Cornwall Police said, quote, as part of our response to the initial incident, we identified several of the occupants of the van as being potential victims of exploitation offenses. They are receiving specialist support and being safeguarded at this time. So a van full of pirates crashed in the woods in England. The cops show up and a bunch of people ran out of the van going, help, I'm a slave!
Rescue me from this band.
Yes! And you have to imagine they're dressed as pirates when this happens. So, shortly after, officers carried out a search at an address in the Gulworthy area, which led to the identification of further potential victims. And this is his quote, as part of this investigation, we have arrested 6 males on suspicion of modern-day slavery offenses, which I love that England has, like, hey, what is the charge? Modern slavery.
Old-timey sailors, modern-day slavery.
I mean, they've had them longer than we have. Shit. I just wonder did they have the Whitestone, the van?
It's a Sprinter. And what's crazy is
Oh, so they did have the Whitestone, the van, to keep it white.
this ain't the first time this has happened.
Old Naval.
They crashed a van last August, seemingly the same van, except this one went straight into a goddamn tree.
Oh, wow.
Like there's a slight curve in the road, and you can see like
A mutiny on the Dodge Transit.
straight into the tree. Their leader, Captain Nick. The cops took all the people that were saying they were slaves, and now Captain Nick has responded to the Telegraph, and he says that as far as he knows, none of his band members have been arrested.
Oh.
So even though the cops just said they arrested people,
I don't know nothing about this.
right. He says no one is on the run. Why would anyone do that? He said, makes no sense at all. All denied. It's all fake. No one's a slave and
Fake
everyone's
news.
okay.
Fake news.
Straight up, yeah. Fake news. Yeah. The failing Kingston Times says I'm a slaver.
This was that cunt Rupert Murdoch spreading lies again.
Poppycock. I love anytime you have to give a quote to the newspaper, and that quote is, no one's a slave.
Right.
Everyone's okay.
You fucked up somewhere.
It's going to happen a lot more often than it used to.
That's literally the quote, y'all. It says, no one is a slave and everyone is okay. I feel like some people might be slaves.
We just start using that. Just anyone says, hey, man, you all right? You're like, yeah, man, nobody's a slave. I'm okay. Like, we're good. We're all good. Come on.
There's no slaves here.
There's no slaves here. We're fine. We're all fine.
Entirely volunteers in the
It's just
car.
nothing
It's
but
just
volunteers,
a van
God.
full of volunteers who are running away screaming.
Yeah.
So Captain Nick says, we have begun criminal lawsuits against the persons behind this hate campaign. I was like, there's no such thing as a criminal lawsuit.
Yeah.
It's either a crime or a lawsuit.
Oh, that's how it works in other countries, but here in Pirate Land,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
sue someone for criminal libelous libel lies.
We pointed the cannon at the judiciary.
I met my solicitor for Hamsani, and he said, oh, Nick, you've done it again.
I love how Trumpy this is. We don't believe in social media trials. We only believe in a democratic system of innocent until proven guilty with fact-checking and hard evidence.
You just got to put the swerve on it. It just sounds exactly like him. Yeah, dude.
That's freedom of speech. I was just exercising my freedoms of speech to yell at people and not pay them for work that they do for me.
Now let's buckle our swashes. However, The Sun reported that musicians working for the band were being kept in a farmhouse in East Devon and earning little or no money. So this is the band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're playing fucking Glastonbury.
There's 20 of them.
There's 20
they're
of them.
keeping them in a barn because
Yeah.
they won't fit in a house.
Right.
Yeah.
And now, granted, the way the music industry is now, to have a band with 20 members, this is the economics of the band.
Oh, yeah. After all the money's divvied out, all of them owe on the tour. So
Straight up, dude.
Particularly for a band that just does 19th century folk music.
yes, entirely sea shanty.
It's just we're gonna get into the little competition among the shanty bands.
Oh.
But
Someone's rolling out the A and B shanties, getting ahead of themselves.
rolling out the cannons, fire. So on Wednesday, a post on the Old Time Sailors Facebook page said, quote, as many of you now will be aware, there have been some recent scandalous accusations, speculations, and fabrications about the Old Time Sailors. We're aware of a number of articles currently online and categorically state that none of what is being said is the actual truth. It is what might sadly get acknowledged these days as an online hate campaign. That's right. They're being canceled, folks. The pirates are finally being canceled.
I mean, you'd think they started Disneyland with
All I
Caribbean.
did was raid a bunch of ships and press a bunch of children into service. Here I am getting cancelled.
Jean Lafayette is weeping.
Cool.
The post said the group was a collective of musicians who tour as a family. Adding,
Wow, that's red flag. Dude.
Yeah. Same as if you work at a restaurant and they say we're a family here. It means you're about to get fucked.
adding, yes, it's true. We live and travel collectively. We share our costs and overheads. We just have a love of music and performing. So to your point, we just have a love of making Chick-fil-A sandwiches here. No need to call any
we
sort
share
of
all
oversight.
of our overheads and I keep all of our profits. It's fair.
Allegedly.
We're family herd artists. Everybody can have
Anyone
all
who
the
says
cheese sauce
otherwise
they want.
has pirate derangement syndrome. Just hating on pirates. Just because I got a chest of gold, you're just jealous.
So, gonna build a fleet. Beautiful fleet.
Oh, he's doing that. It's not going to be fun for anybody.
The poster on the Facebook group then claimed that following the departure of one group member, the band had received a very threatening email indicating what could be made to happen if it did not do certain things. But we didn't respond.
Change from a major to a minor town.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it happens. Accusations, lies, horror stories, and ruinous allegations. So that's their side. They're saying this is just haters want to hate on their shanties. So the old
One person was kicked out of their thruple and then they tried to join another polycule. Two separate groups within the band, you know. Yeah.
It just shatters everything,
Just
man.
bad vibes.
Quit fucking your bandmates, dudes.
and to our UK listeners, I adore you, but your town names are fucking hilarious. The Old Time Sailors were due to perform at a festival in Powderham near Exeter on Sunday, but were taken off the lineup earlier this week due to doing slavery.
Can't go to Powderham because we got cancelled for slavery.
And they were due to play the O2 Academy in Bournemouth today.
Bournemouth.
I know it's Bournemouth, but it's funny that's like,
Yeah.
you know that smell that comes out of a baby when it's born. Gross.
Bournemouth.
You got born mouth. Did you eat a placenta this morning? But that event got canceled due to slavery.
Due to slavery, yeah.
And then last little tidbit. This is Maxine Dixon writing for Cornwall Live. In April, a GoFundMe campaign, because you might be wondering, like, what are they so mad about these alleged slaves? In April, a GoFundMe campaign was set up by Philip Harrison, who said he was the father of one of the 2024 Old Time Sailor group members. He claimed that 14 members of the band had not been given a single penny for 6 months of work.
A single pence, you say?
Yeah, not a fucking pence.
Not even a sixpence.
They didn't even take one coin, break it apart and giving me a bit of a coin.
Yeah.
I said you could give me a bit of a coin and I'll be happy.
This is literally someone wouldn't give him a hey penny for a song. Mr. Harrison also alleged that the band members had to pay $1,200 each for their flights to and from Argentina.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
They don't got their own old-timey sea shantymen in Argentina.
No, they do. Here's what's fucking crazy. Argentina has the biggest Irish population in the non-English speaking world.
No shit.
So there is a long culture of like Celtic folk songs
Wow.
amongst the Argentine whites. But like, okay, so this is what's fucking crazy. Like, I wanted to get all that out of the way because
Are we at the trapdoor? Is this the trapdoor?
it's creaking underneath our feet. But that's the thing is like, these people aren't British. They're all or mostly from Argentina, as is Captain Nick.
What?
He's Argentinian.
He's fucking Argentinian.
What?
So,
Okay.
so allegedly, so like this is again on this GoFundMe, like most of the members of the band came from Argentina, and Mr. Harrison said any money raised would go directly to those unpaid members of the group, which is again most of them. And when Cornwall Live rang the telephone number listed for the band on its website, a man answered who said he was not part of the band, but he had been friends with some of them for years. The man, who did not want to give his name, said they were, quote, good guys.
Well, shit. Case closed, guys.
Okay, so that's the official reporting, and now we're going down the rabbit hole, or should I say, we're going below deck. Let's get into the accusations, lies, horror stories, and ruinous allegations. And I must state for the record that I am being paid by the George Soros-backed Landlubbers Association to say false things about these trustworthy Buccaneers. So first of all, again, all of this is alleged and lies. First of all, Captain Nick Moffat is actually Argentine national Andres Nicolas Guzman, and boy, do I have a whale of a tale to tell you. This guy is making waves. He's rocking the boat in a very serious way amongst the shanty community. A day after the car crash, a Spanish shanty band called El Pony Pisador posted a video on YouTube with pretty convincing evidence of plagiarism. So, like, they crash the van, they get arrested for slavery, and now every shanty band in England is like, you know what? Actually, fuck the old-time sailors. So,
Bunch of song stealers.
yeah. And I watched the goddamn video.
And it's pretty convincing.
So it's in English. You can watch it. It's they're from Spain. They're called El Pony Pisador, and the pony says that the old-time sailors ripped off their music, their arrangements, and even some of their dance moves. And they've got like side-by-side video, and you're like, I mean, goddamn, they did, because they have, first of all, like original compositions that they started doing with no credit and releasing. And then, from what I could tell, they also just took some of their music and put it in the background of their own Instagram posts as if they did it. Like, come see the old time sailors, and it's it's the
El Pony Pisador.
yeah, the Pony Pisador, yeah. And the comments on this video included claims from a shitload of old time sailors.
Well, there's 20 of them.
Yeah,
so
I mean, that's
they-
at least five fucking each,
They've
right?
been touring with a different band since 2021.
True.
So
So there's
there's
up to 150.
There's literally hundreds of these guys.
You've really
walking
gone
around.
up to the Boston Pops level of orchestra by
Yeah.
this point. Yeah.
So someone named Andy Fimple said that while he didn't go on the 2024 tour, he did rehearse with the Old Time Sailors for 2 months. Quote, the psychological abuse was so constant that I had to leave the band to protect my mental health. It's worth noting that each rehearsal lasted 7 to 8 hours and they
Fuck.
didn't give us a
Ooh.
single cent.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Rough.
Fimple goes on to call the Old Time Sailors a cult full of psychopaths.
Wow.
So-
What the fuck, man?
Another commenter, Abel Tana, claimed to be the former guitarist for the Old Time Sailors. He said, quote, it took me a long time to process what I went through. During the tour, I felt we had no rest and our effort wasn't appreciated and we weren't paid for the work we did with so much passion. It took a toll on my health and well-being.
So wait.
Yet another commenter, Imi Pereira, said he was on the 2023
He
tour.
said, Captain Nick severed my brain, so a separate version of me was forced to just live a life of only playing music inside a barn, and the other side of me didn't know what happened in the barn.
Well, what's crazy is like
mean-
I watched some of their videos and the way they play, it looks fun as shit. because they roll up
Yeah.
with 30 people
Cults often look like they're having fun.
But I
while
think
they're doing that weird shit, that's the only time they're allowed to feel joy.
right. No,
I'm sure those
that's
Scientologists
true.
you see on the street are always fucking smiling, right?
Well,
Rivers?
no, because the Scientologists don't have talent. These are a bunch of people
Very talented,
with
yeah.
actual talents. Like the Scientologists are just like weird and standoffish. Like this is a cult that rolls up in your town and throws a party with 30 people, which we know. Nick and I being comics and Miles having been to a lot of comedy shows,
Yeah.
like that's a party.
Yeah.
Hey, if it's a small venue, whatever.
So
That's
it's
it,
Charlie
yeah.
Manson, but he achieved his dreams.
Kind of, yeah. That's not far off. There's
There's
a
a time for living.
yeah. That's actually.
Including the slavery.
I mean, you're not
I mean,
wrong.
anything is better than garbage dump.
Like if Charles Manson had taught Squeaky Fromme how to play the tambourine, then maybe they would have made it.
We
you
would have
know?
been living in a lot different world.
Yeah. But they show up, and I watched some of their videos, and like it seems like a fucking blast because there's 30 people dancing around playing instruments. They've got
Yeah.
like brass. They've got there's a million instruments, and they're singing fun folk songs that they're meant for drunk people to sing along to.
So it's like Gogo Bordello, but English.
Very actually, I was trying to think of a good example because yes, it's
Like-
very similar to Gogo Bordello.
It's because it like fits into the genre. Like if you take a sea shanty and you try and sing like a soulful love song about your gay lover who was murdered, like yeah, you might succeed if you're Cosmo Jarvis, but the rest of us have to actually.
Right. Oh yeah, this guy, Imi Pereira, said he was on the 2023 tour. Captain Nick is an exploiter and made us work for 6 months, earning a salary that isn't a quarter of a basic salary in this country.
Since this is Argentina, I'm assuming that's a good bit, like a living salary. right?
No, they currently have allegedly a shitload of lawsuits in Argentina because this guy. All right, so the deal is he's bringing these guys. So he's from Argentina, so he
Right.
goes, finds young musicians, and says, "I've got a badass deal in the UK. I'm in this big band. Y'all should come to the UK." And once you get there, you're going to get paid. So these guys have to pay for their own plane ticket with the promise of being paid once they go on this massive tour. But here's the thing. Captain Nick doesn't let them come on a work visa, which would entitle them not only to payment, but also
Protections.
to suing him.
Yes.
Yeah.
To legal protections within the country.
So they come on a vacation visa, and Nick extends it just long enough for the tour. And once the tour is over, see you later.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So
And they've played Glastonbury before.
they've played it.
Glastonbury's
Like-
probably going to have to pay out. Like,
I mean,
dude.
you can't like accidentally use slavery. Like,
Yeah, no, that's
if you-
exactly you use slavery.
yeah.
Oops, all slaves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Only for manufacturing our clothes, Miles. Okay.
Yeah.
That same commenter says last year, for example, they left 2 Argentinian kids in Exeter in the middle of nowhere.
Jesus.
Yeah, this was a total abandonment of the kids, forcing them to enter the country without a working visa. The leader is a narcissist and a manipulator, and he owes a lot of money to a lot of people. Escudero Oceano. I was on the 2023 tour. This is on one YouTube video about these guys.
Fuck, man.
We suffered psychological and physical abuse at the hand of Nicolas Guzman. We all worked hard for 6 months, and he only paid us for 1 month. There were multiple car accidents. The driver, this is like
Okay, we're getting to the van part now.
yeah.
Why did the van crash?
because we slept a maximum of 3 hours and ate once a day, and the musicians were made to drive the van.
Oh,
So-
it's just physical
So
exhaustion.
these
Fuck.
guys are doing barn burn tours of the UK. So they're doing 3 shows a day. Their shows are like long, and if
Yeah.
you watch them, they're literally dancing around the entire time.
Yeah.
So it's basically 6 solid hours of physical exertion plus playing music, and then it's like, all right, you and your van, you and your van, you and your van. Who's the least tired? And then they got to drive to somewhere else in the UK.
Fuck,
So
man.
they keep crashing.
Yeah.
At least
Allegedly.
Skinner had a plan.
I know, right? Alberto Nicolas Lamberti Muir. I played with the Old Time Sailors in 2021. We experienced lots of mistreatment, and in the end, they didn't pay anyone. It was modern slavery.
Hey, there's the phrase.
Yeah.
He said the phrase.
He did.
So, like I said, this is, we're not just talking about the pony from Spain. 2 days ago, a guy on Facebook named Tom Powell went in on Captain Nick. Tom Powell is part of another shanty band called
God damn it.
the Jack Tars.
Oh, buddy.
Quote, I am writing this now, seething in rage.
Oh, do it in the voice.
Oh, yeah. I'm writing this now, seething in rage at the inability of the UK venues and people to list the countless victims who have suffered at the hands of the old-time sailors. They won't step up and do the right thing to cancel this slave circus once and for all. So Tom is in a...
Tell us how you really feel.
Fuck, man.
So, yeah, that was Kiss's follow-up to Psycho Circus in 98. It's the slave circus! Where's everybody going?
Who wants to lick my slave?
So Tom goes on to say that his sea shanty band, the Jack Tars, went to see the Old Time Sailors in 2021. And at this point, he just said, like, fuck these guys. But then he takes a minute to stop and complain about the verisimilitude of the sea shanties because the band didn't do all 19th century stuff. So I love this fucking nerd is like, someone needs to talk about this atrocity that's happening. The man's inhumanity to man. By the way, they did do a shanty version of Start Me Up by the Stones, and that was fucking wrong. You know? Like, that is what he was saying. He was like, there was some stuff from the 70s in there. And I was like, Tom, stick to the fucking issue.
You're the lead here, buddy.
Yeah.
If you're doing old-timey sea shanties and I hear anything post-1982, I'm going to stab you in the front.
Oh, it was crazier than that. He was complaining about them doing, like, Irish revolutionary songs. You're like, bitch, it's no one...
adjacent.
That's the 20s.
Absolutely adjacent.
They had ships in the 20s, you know. They were still there's still Irish guys singing on boats fucking now, I'm sure. Right now. So, and I'm sure they're singing Doja Cat as a shanty. That's fine. So Tom says he met Captain Nick and that, quote, he said he should come out and play our festival and that he knew everything about us already. A little strange, but what can you expect from a man who studied psychology and runs a cult?
Oh.
So that's creepy. That's like when you meet somebody who's like, oh, I feel like I already know everything about you. And they had just started as a band too. And he's like, okay, weirdo.
I love your aura.
Yeah. But like,
I love your aura.
But you know, Nick, someone's offering you a gig at a you're like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
Go.
fucking glass.
And then,
Well, no, this was their festival. So the Jack Tars played the OTS festival, and they were, of course, as Nick and I well know, were paid in exposure, food, and whatever got put into the hat.
they got food?
They got, yeah, exactly. Yeah. They got comedian wages for the show. So things went well, but Tom says, quote, there were a few strange things I noticed, like the captain eating huge meals.
Like the slaves!
The captain sitting at a lavishly piled table with roasted goose and boar.
It's some more? You want some more? Crew?
Like, I told you this turns into a pirate thing. He is Captain Hook at this moment. I noticed the captain eating huge meals alone at the pub while the rest of the crew wandered around looking exhausted and hungry. Tom then claims that Captain Nick began trying to poach members of his band and at one point tried to bring him on the road with OTS. That was after he was like trying to get his mandolin player. He's like, no, you fucking...
Listen, you've been a Jack Tar for a good little while now, right? But that sort of sounds like someone's jerking it and coming black stuff, right? Don't you want to be an old-timey sailor? Ain't nobody think of a ship, a hard wooden ship full of seamen and think of nothing sus.
What do? You join the Jack Tars. Could have been playing far out exciting shanties with the old time sailors.
I mean, Jack Tars is such a better fucking side.
It is.
It's such a better fucking
It's such a great day.
Little creativity. You've got all this time because all your fucking slaves are doing the work. At least put some more fucking work in the goddamn name.
Mm-hmm.
So in October of 2023, Tom says that the Jack Tars got booked to play during the day at the Conwy Pirate Festival. Again, shout out to England that there's enough of an economy for this music. Yeah. So
I remember back in the day, they didn't used to book you. You'd turn up and you'd play. That's how it worked.
You'd force them at the point of a sword.
If there was another band who wanted the main stage, you fight them. And then whoever was still alive would form one jam band.
And the loser have to walk the plank.
This is how
walk the plank and then stage dive.
if they don't have a plank on the edge of their stage, they're fucking up.
They're fucking up.
Yeah. So they get booked to play during the day. They're not even a headliner. They're just on during the day during a fucking outdoor festival about pirates. So Captain Nick hears about this, and he tried to get them to drop out because he said they were being booked to, quote, harm his band. And he continued, and this is Tom's word, he continues with some utter bollocks along the line of my stepfather, Jonathan Survey's man, has also requested that you withdraw from the event. And then he said, please, Tom, I'm going to have to ask that you decline this gig as Russell, the ex-Conway Pirate Festival committee member, didn't hire you because he wants you there. He hired you because he wants to use you because he wants to pay musicians even smaller fees. Which
Wait.
I'm like, coming from him is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's projecting right there.
straight up.
Like, this
100%.
guy, he's going to have you living in a barn.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
going to have you eating out of a trough while he's eating big dinners at the pub.
Yeah.
Just black pudding and ale.
So
He's going to put you in a van, point it straight at a lorry, and leave you to see what happens.
So what I think is, apparently Captain Nick is related to one of the organizers of the Pirate Festival.
Oh.
There is another organizer of the Pirate Festival, and that guy's name is Jonathan. Russell is this other guy, and Captain Nick is claiming that Russell hired the Jack Tars to basically edge out the 30 members of the other band that they would have to pay. And so, meanwhile, the stepfather is advocating for his stepson to basically be the entertainment of the festival, I think is what he's saying.
I mean, yeah, you got 30 people who are slaves. You can probably make them play the entire night and day. Right?
Yeah. And Tom was so busy talking about them playing modern music instead of traditional shanties that he didn't explain what the fuck happened. It was so confusing. But I went and looked at this. So somehow, this is what the news said, somehow a rift between the committee members resulted in the 2023 Conway Pirate Festival being canceled.
God damn it.
So I was like, the old time sailors fucked this festival.
Yeah.
Okay,
They didn't
I've
get paid
been
anyway.
part of a few organizations that have imploded due to drama. Okay, my partner gave themselves the nickname of the Ruiner because of how many organizations she'd pulled the ripcord on.
Oh, God.
Oh, fuck, man.
Like, this is, if anything deserves
Well,
it,
at least your
it's
partner
the
did-
pirate festival that's using slave labor.
Yeah, that's modern slavery. Come on.
Probably a good one to not be around anymore.
I would like it if the whole committee was just those two guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fuck you, Jonathan.
No, fuck you, Russell.
Fuck you, Russell. Okay. Did I tell you there's two trapdoors? There's two trapdoors.
You still has one trap door.
Oh, I lied.
We got a second trap door.
We got a sub basement.
We've gone from the hole to the bilge, motherfucker.
Yeah, we're in the part where there's just water sloshing around in
The
rats.
bilge.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Then there's truth-teller.org
Oh boy,
and the
I
infamous
love a .org.
You know when they're tweeting from truthteller.org that it's going to be real.
Here's what's crazy. When I saw the link, I was like, oh, this is like a blind item website. You know, like they have Hollywood blind items where it's like, oh, a certain action star was seen sucking dick behind the fucking Abbey or whatever.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Blind, whatever. And blind items are you're supposed to like infer from whatever. So I was thinking truth-teller.org must be blind items. If you go to truth-teller.org, it's just about the old time sailors.
God damn it.
It's fucking.
It's their take. Listen,
Wow.
guys, if we're going to take these human trafficking, slaving, sea shantymen down, we're going to need to get the right URL that sends a message that
crazy.
everything that we're going to put up there is going to be a well-sourced, well-articulated takedown of Captain Nick and the evil shit that he been doing.
And
We'll
it
give him a
appears.
full broadside.
Well, and the best part is it appears to be Web 1.0, HTML.
Ooh, nice.
There's images that I'm going to show you one in a moment here of the most shocking
Does
thing.
it have the under construction with the flashing lights?
No, it should. It really should. But no, they're current with it. It's not under construction. It's fucking done, and it was updated yesterday.
Nice.
Fuck me, man. Hell
Pretty
yeah.
like a Squarespace, or is it?
No, they HTML
They
this shit.
did it themselves.
This
Good
is-
on them.
this
You know
is
what?
really impressive,
In
yeah.
2025,
I'm saying
you know,
this guy is for sure our age. Like he and did MySpace, knows how to HTML.
Does a song play play in the background? Is there any scrolling text?
No, just straight less than sign AHERF, etc.
Here for it?
Yeah.
God damn.
So someone put up a website that details all the crimes against the band. So here's some of the website's claims. Again, this is from truth-teller.org. There are 4 active court cases in Argentina regarding the unpaid wages from the 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024 tours.
God damn.
So I mentioned that one. Band members were allegedly isolated at a farm in Devon with limited freedom of movement. Leaving the project without personal funds was nearly impossible because apparently he took your passport on one
there it
tour.
is. Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Okay.
Oh, now we're fully in cult territory. Yeah.
You could just fucking go to the goddamn embassy if you had your passport. man.
Well,
Shit.
apparently that was just on the one tour, you know? Yeah, but how are you going to get to the fucking Argentinian embassy if you're in the middle of nowhere in goddamn Wales, basically?
Yeah.
And with no car? You're going to walk? There's no Argentinian embassy in fucking anywhere near them. Like,
You walk and you
were
wave your hands.
fucked.
Like, hey, man, can you take me to the Argentina?
I suppose.
Take me to London town.
You crash into a lorry,
Yeah,
and then when the police come, you
run out screaming.
explain
You
what's
go to
going
Cornwall,
on,
you eat some
which
Stargazy
leads
pie.
to a raid. And
You have a warm beer, and then you
yeah.
go, hey, can anyone take me to London town? And they're like, oh, I thought the train's coming.
Members who voiced concerns were secretly recorded and punished through group isolation, fines, or ejection from the tour.
So they had struggle sessions.
They had recording devices everywhere, allegedly. Multiple members...
That's a cult.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple members were allegedly expelled from the middle of the tour in the middle of the night without money or personal belongings. And a photographer who was denied pay was coerced into handing over his content and left stranded. So even like the
Don't give
crew
them
is
the
getting
fucking cards,
No,
man.
don't-
Come on.
don't.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit on this website for sure. So definitely check that out. But
What's
there's
the point?
also a notorious Reddit post that everybody.
Yeah, the front page of the internet. So I believe.
So a Reddit post from 1 month ago posted by a user named OK_match_526 goes into detail about the old time sailors. Some of their allegations. Captain Nick got his PhD in social psychology in New York.
Dr. Captain Nick.
After that, he worked in finance and created contacts with politicians and companies. Apparently, he is very well connected with the political elite, and some people insinuated the mafia of Argentina.
Don Captain Nick.
Straight up. And apparently he talks a lot about his wealth and also about being poor. He acts like he's in the nomadic life, but gives himself a lot more luxuries than the band members are allowed. So we covered that. Also, apparently, he doesn't even go to these gigs anymore. He's gotten them so broken that he's just like, Playboy Fido, as he casts them off into the hinterland to dance and tarry.
Warhol used to do that and get his acolytes to do his art and just sign his name at the end.
Right. Yeah, he's Rembrandt, guys. So Cap Nick wears the same outfit every day, a white and red
Gross.
striped top, navy blue chinos, brown boots, and a sailor hat. He also has a thick beard with a mustache curled upwards at the ends. He is a self-proclaimed sexual sadist.
Oh, wow. That's a big... I was about to ask what kind of style of a sailor hat. Was it a tricorn or a bicorn? But god damn.
Cocked
Okay.
is the official terminology
Full
for a
fucking
tricorn.
cocked.
But yeah.
God, Jesus.
He has a very unhealthy relationship with alcohol and cocaine. He is
You don't say.
He is a control freak and has crazy rules that he implements by as a means of keeping control.
Oh, a cocaine freak has crazy rules you do not say.
He is known to be verbally and physically abusive to band members and has in the past been physically violent to an ex-member and once tried to attack a UK citizen who was at the time a minor, both in front of witnesses.
Tried to beat up a kid?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. You laughing at my Shanty, fuckface.
Quit laughing at me hat.
Yeah.
Where's me parrot?
So,
By parrot, I mean cocaine.
so the old time sailors work every single day, traveling for hours, doing 2 to 3 hour high energy shows every single day.
Fuck that.
Wonder
yeah.
if they were drinking Rapster to try and
I
stay
mean-
juiced, you know?
Cap Nick has his inner circle called the core members, who are band members that have done one or more tours and are trusted by him. So if you let him break your
This is
brain,
squeaky. These are the Manson family.
It's his hierarchy,
Absolutely.
cult hierarchy.
the core group puts people in place,
This
as
is
well
first
as
mates.
the core group puts.
Boatswain.
They're going to pass out the Kool-Aid and the last right before their
Oh,
last
yeah.
I
performance.
wonder who he gives the bosun's whistle to. I've always wondered one of those things.
The core puts people in place, as well as carrying out Captain Nick's orders, which means means they break the law, such as fraudulent activity. So he's just a guy being like, oh, talk to Stephanie about the check. And then she's like, I don't know about the check. You talk to Rita. And then they just go in a circle until the person gets deported back to Argentina.
God damn.
Again, this is their allegation. Captain Nick has a predatory history for young girls, publicly skimming the line of legality.
Well, you know what? I figured it was coming, and it finally did.
Yep. And then there's the company script.
The company script. Fuck, what is this, a coal town? Jesus Christ.
In 2024, the old-time sailors were given fake money by Captain Nick that they had to use with a new system in place called the System of Distinction.
Holy shit.
Where, like Harry Potter, they got put into 4 houses.
Wow. When you're cribbing from J.K. Rowling as a pirate, man, you just hit rock bottom at this point, man.
At which point, they were given the distinctions, which are Monopoly-style money.
Is that Captain Nick on the front? Or
That's
did
right.
you steal that picture?
That is a cartoon of Captain Nick, and it has his face on it, and it also says the old-time sailors, and then underneath his face, in Poseidon we trust. Oh.
Hey, neo-paganism. Hooray.
So the Chuck E. Cheese bucks could be used to buy beers, cider, Coca-Cola. Those things were previously given for free as part of the group's rider.
What about rum? No rum?
It says beers.
No rum for the underclass.
All right.
Fuck that. Give you my
No rum
gravy
for the
grog.
below deckers.
Everybody gets a shot of grog. Come on.
Right. But also, this shit was free on the previous tours because as a touring band, you can ask venues for this.
He's getting them for free, and then he's making them pay him.
He's distributing them
with
money
fake
that
money
he made.
with his Michael Scott
that he's
bucks.
making them buy with real money.
So there's no point.
No.
There is no point.
No.
Just like all cults, it's just control.
You could also use the Captain Bucks to get marijuana joints supplied from the captain's own stash, or tobacco, or
Cocaine?
a night in one of the caravans if you got a girl and wanted to bring her back to base.
Oh.
Which, first of all...
Listen, baby. Usually we'd be hooking up in the barn in front of 30 dirty fellas, but I spent me captain dollars and I got us a night in the RV. What you say?
Yeah, straight up. Yeah. It's like, can we go to my place? No, unfortunately not.
I'm not allowed to leave the property. Captain's got me passport.
I don't know why I got this accent. I'm actually Argentinian.
Yeah, that's
This
right.
is an Argentinian accent. BTW. Be surprised my high school English teacher had a German accent. Don't think about it too hard.
So the value of the company script went up and down in price depending on the day. Nobody ever knew the value of the fake money. By the
Well, no, it's a supply and demand based system.
It's not a gold-backed currency.
But-
It's just like USD, baby.
you could also earn positive points or negative points. So I couldn't figure out if that was like in addition to the fake money, but
It's a separate currency system. Now we've got a social system as well, modeled off the Chinese social media system of ranking citizens by their usefulness to the state.
I seriously think it is that. But it was,
you kid, but
I think it's that.
I mean,
well, I guess he's saying distinction, and that's the name of the currency. So it's like doubloons, dollars,
this guy
pesos,
is so
distinction.
fucking bad at names. Why is he? If he's a PhD in what, social science? Why are you so fucking bad at names?
Get better at names, bro.
Well, get better at names, you charismatic slave owner.
So the best way.
Christ, what the fuck?
The best way to get positive distinctions was to rat on their fellow bandmates.
Oh wow, there it is.
That's how cults work.
That's how it works.
The highest earnings would be if they told on someone who had said anything negative about the captain.
Oh, you want to buy a Coke, do you? Well, I heard that you was unhappy about having to share the RV last night with 3 other fellas who was all bringing ladies home. Well, now you got to pay me 10 captain dollars for a Coke.
Shit, 3 ladies, buddy. Hey, there's 30 people in this van. Talked about 10 people in the fucking van.
You said my mustache wasn't as jaunty today. That's 10 whippings. So they would also get negative distinctions or positive distinctions if someone was late for ratting out someone who was late. and or left something in the wrong place or hadn't cleaned properly. So
Cleaned what?
I guess their farmhouse they live in.
Their dirty hovel, their patch of ground that they were
They
living
didn't
on.
whitestone the
And
barn?
like ratting out people who aren't there. That's literally like, who's not here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's 30 fucking...
Greg's not here. Well, Greg's getting it, and you got a positive distinction for being a piece of shit rat.
I will say, Nick, I don't know how big your class sizes were growing up, but when we hit high school, like, we started to hit 30 fucking people.
we
per class.
topped out at 30, so yeah, it makes
And so it kind of makes sense
yeah.
when, like, one person goes missing and that teacher does not give a shit.
No, they don't get they don't get paid enough to care.
But
But
then
when
it-
you're running a cult, you generally
Well, he
try
obviously
and-
doesn't fucking give a shit
No, he
because
doesn't
he
care
just
at
keeps
all.
cycling through these poor fucking slaves.
Well, so if you lost your fake captain dollars, you would have to, like, if you went into the negative, like if you spent them all and then people started saying you were talking shit and you had to pay up, you would have to pay that back with real money. So
There it is. Yeah.
this was a tactic to turn band members against one another, and since most of them have no money to begin with, they can't afford to be considered a problem, so they play the game to survive. And if they have no money to buy themselves treats as the tour goes on, this is their only option. The group that won in the end was the group with the most core members, usually. However, only the core members got the reward, whereas the others in the group received nothing. So even in this fake game that he made up with company script, he didn't even give them, like, if you're in the group with like 4 guys that are all core members, you don't get shit if you're a new guy. Anyway, as I was reading all of this, I was just like, I want to just, you know how when you were playing hide and seek back in the day and you would touch base and say Butterfingers? I'm saying Butterfingers on this Netflix documentary, okay? Because I found it first. Obviously, I didn't find it first.
No, but you know it's coming.
You correlated all the facts.
I'm just saying. And to my point, there was a guy in the Reddit that the mods had confirmed is legit, a BBC producer being like, please email me, please call me. We're working on a story.
I gotta beat the Tiger King guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking yeah.
So what's the point? Trying to be the best pirate captain he can be?
So, well, that's
just fucking Barbary Coast motherfucker over here?
that's the thing, is like the dream of capitalism is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So expect lower and lower stakes cults to just pop up everywhere as we roll along. So,
Yeah,
as
no,
we
I
roll-
was in a sea shanty pirate cult. It was a bad time.
That's what I'm saying. We're reaching that level. Like, we should have known when they, that Mother of God woman, they found her mummified, covered in Christmas lights in Colorado.
Oh, and the
about that.
Zizians, they're another sea cult. They lived in
Zizians.
boats.
Yeah, the AIC cults. Yeah.
They lived in boats to turn themselves into psychopaths.
Right. Yeah. And what's funny is, like, these people are toured around in vans, but I will quote my eminent co-host Sam Harder when he said, "Being on boats too long will ruin your brain."
Yeah.
Well, who's that a quote of? Like, there's 2 kinds of men and men who have been to sea.
I mean, I don't know, but that person had a maniacal breakdown and fucking buried his family in a
Was that
vacant
Melville?
That
lot.
person was
I wanna say that's
exploited
Melville.
by an old-timey sea shanty band.
Yeah. So what's the point? The point is, be on the lookout for this documentary. Watch out for the doco.
Doco.
And also, like I said, as the pie gets smaller and smaller, the cults are going to get weirder and fucking weirder. They're already weird, but we'll never, much in the way that we'll never have another Michael Jackson because the monoculture's dead, much of the way that God died years ago, we will also never have another Jonestown. We're never going to have like a 937 kill count for a cult leader. It's going to be...
Unless it's just a
This.
bunch of random dudes who have listened to AI too much.
Yeah, that's true. But even that I think is limited in its scope.
Yeah, the Zizians only got like 5 people. I mean,
Right.
that's
They were an
what
AI
sells.
cult. Yeah, for sure.
But anybody who has an internet connection can just connect to these fucking things.
No, that's true. That's true. I think it casts a wider net, but also it plays into individuality, whereas this is more like, no, we bind ourselves together with the company script and the I take your passport thing. Now we're all together. It's
Post-truth society.
absolutely.
Christ.
Yeah. So anyway, what's y'all's favorite sea shanty?
Northwest.
I like
Passage?
Running Down to Cuba.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I like Fathom the Bowl. That's a good one.
I like Barrett's Privateers by Stan Rogers.
That's a
Just
good
for the
one.
line of, Barrett was smashed like a bowl of eggs.
Yeah,
That's a good visceral.
Also, if people want to check out something cool, the best version of Fathom the Bowl and my favorite version of My Son John, both sung by John C. Reilly on the Pirates and Sea Shanties collection that got mailed to the radio station sometime in like
God.
2007.
Yeah, dude. Shit.
It's just John C. Reilly just
doing
My
fucking
son
doing
John
it,
was
yeah.
tall and slim, and he had a leg for every limb.
it.
So, anyway, that's the news from Jolio.
Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum. Hoist the mainsail, here I come. Ain't no room on board for the ensign sea. You're my witness, I'm your mutineer. I was born to rock the boat. Some may sink, but we will float. Grab your coat, let's get out of here. You're my witness, I'm your mutineer.
I fully confess, I fell down 2 rabbit holes at the beginning of this.
yeah.
And I desperately wanted to because Nick cued me into some awesome Australian history that I wanted to read about and simply did not have the time. So I was hoping Nick could fill me in on badass Australian to highlight for this from history.
Nice. Breaker Morant is who we're going to talk about today.
Braun
Hell
Breaker
yeah,
Morant.
Yeah. So this guy was he was born in England, but because he lived in Australia in the 1800s, he was Australian. And when he signed up to the, they eventually became the Australian Light Horse. They weren't the Australian Light Horse at the time.
What is that?
So the Australian Light Horse was a brigade who fought in World War One. And so the precursor to them, like the same guys, formed this company that was sent off to the Second Boer War. So not the First Boer War, but the Second Boer War.
Explain to the folks briefly the Boer War.
Yeah, so briefly, England was doing colonialism in South Africa, and a group of white Europeans were doing colonialism in South Africa.
Dutch. Lots of
Heavily,
Dutch.
mostly
Deutsch.
heavily
Yeah,
Dutch. And they became known as now the Afrikaners, but at the time they were known as the Boer.
Yeah.
And so England and the Boer were batting up against each other, having territorial disputes. And the way in which both of them were treating the native people was horrific. Like, we understand how colonialism works.
This is Alien versus Predator. No matter who wins, we lose.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. So the South Africans were being very poorly treated by all of the colonial powers involved.
Yeah.
But what happened was the British got really fed up with the Boer, and so they turned to this company of Australians, and they were like, go fuck them up.
And a bit of that, I would assume, has to be the fact that Australia was a colony as well.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
like, why are we wasting British troops? Let's get these guys
They,
from...
they
these
know how
poor
to
fucks.
run a colony.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Right,
let's
right.
get these guys to go do it.
Yeah.
It's not like we used any excuse to get these fuckers out of England.
Like they're drinking up all the booze.
Yeah.
They're riding.
They're stealing
other
all
thing
the
as well
bread
is
for their families.
He's known as like a bush balladeer, which was a very Australian thing. Like there's a lot of us artists growing out of like early colonial Australia.
Hell yeah,
So
dude.
like there was writing bush ballads. There was also some amazing poets and painters who from World War One. So like he was a precursor to this. So he's writing these bush ballads and stealing up everybody's girlfriends. Like he was a famous womanizer and like,
I mean, he is Australian.
yeah, absolutely. And so he gets orders from up top. They're like, listen, we're sick of fucking breaking around, stealing all our girlfriends, writing these hit country songs. No, they're not even sea shanties. I know, now's the time for sea shanties, but he's writing like these really cool country riffs. And so they get the order, go fuck them up. So they go fuck them up. And at the resulting war crimes trial.
Oh, boy. And this is what year again?
1880s.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy. That's a real war
So,
crime.
in fact, it's one of the first times Britain actually put anyone on trial for war crimes.
Really?
Before this, that was just the cost of doing business.
Yeah.
Right.
And
That was just the British Empire.
Yeah.
So they arrested like 5 of them. One of them was too English. He'd lived in England but not Australia. So they're like, you get to go to jail. And the rest of them, they're like, you killed too many white people. Now, they did execute POWs. That's a fact of the case. They killed like 9 POWs.
Yeah.
There is the claim to be made, like, or the understanding that those POWs were all white people. Those were white Afrikaners.
Yeah.
They were charged with a crime for killing white people.
Right.
The amount of black people who were killed by both of these sides during this time was staggering. This was colonialist bullshit.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a generous read of history, which is that Breaker Morant and his guys got out onto the plain and they saw basically RRR Ray Winstone style bullshit going on.
Yeah.
And they were like, nah. And they just dropped bodies.
Yeah.
And so they killed a whole lot of people, including some missionaries who were forcibly converting people.
Oh, well,
and,
good.
And
good.
giving like absolution for crimes that the board would do. Like, I feel bad at the number of rapes that we did. Well, you're forgiven. So the Breaker Morant turns up and is like, none of you are forgiven. Not a one of you.
Oh, wow.
And so boom, clean slate. So the Brits were like, you can't kill that many white people and not answer for it. So we're going to execute you. And he was like, you're seriously going to kill me for being too good at my job.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. You're going to put me to death for being too good at my job.
And I'm sure the Crown was like, yes.
Let me give you one piece of advice, Sonny Jim. Don't miss.
Hell yeah.
His final words were, shoot straight, you bastards.
Fuck yeah.
Wow.
So, like, he was pretty unrepentant all the way up until... And interestingly enough, like, the descendants of the Afrikaners who considered themselves his victims were like, justice wasn't done because they pardoned that one Irish guy. And... Australians are like, justice
And
wasn't
he
done
moved to
because-
Argentina.
Right.
Yeah.
along with a bunch of people 40 years later joined him over there. So the Australians look at it like, one, the British treated the Australians like we were disposable. They were
don't
like,
say.
They threw us into the desert and said, take care of a problem, and then they did, and then they were hung out to dry for doing it.
Yeah.
In Gallipoli, just 20 years later, we were sent waves of us into machine gun fire by the British High Command.
Right.
It was after that point that Australians stopped taking orders from the British. We created our own command hierarchy so that we could commit war crimes that we choose to.
Right.
Not ones that we're
Well, you
made
can follow
to.
us
you
into
can follow
our
us.
war
Exactly,
crimes.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the Boer War was very much like the first time Australians were in the shit.
Yeah.
And, we were ordered back home, but we were never blown the whistle. So if I see Afrikaners walking around, it's on.
Hell yeah.
Fucking A, man.
Yeah,
God.
when you said that they got the Australians to go fight them, it reminded me, we talked about Emperor Norton, who was
dude.
about 60 years previous, and they had what's called the 1820 settlers, which is where England, they're settling South Africa. The natives are like, hey, fuck off, and are fighting them every day. And so as a way to basically put a human shield between their settlements and
they got white people to go fill some slums.
they went and found poor people on the streets who were like, how would you like to go somewhere else? And then they're like, we're going to give you land. And so literally made a giant human shield between the native South Africans and the new settlements at places like Johannesburg and stuff like that. And that's where Josh Norton, Emperor Norton's family came out of before he then in 1849 came to America as part of that as well. So, but that's what that reminded me. I was like, oh, that's the British way. Human shields. That's how we fight.
Semi-sanctioned war crimes.
I mean,
like,
yeah, Yeah. But we treat them special. We tell the human shields that they're doing a great job, and we muss up their hair. We give them a biscuit. That's what we call a cookie. But yeah, no, that's fucking. That's
Basically how that goes. Yes.
So how did you find out about this story?
Oh, Australians love our outlaw heroes. So he's one of the ones who gets brought up. Him and Ned Kelly. And, Ned Kelly did nothing wrong. Like he killed about 15 cops
and then dressed up as Iron Man.
A-cab every one of them.
Yeah.
And they shot out his knees because you got to always put kneecaps on your Iron Man suit. That's the lesson to learn from Ned Kelly.
Yeah. We're here. Explain Ned Kelly briefly because we've never covered Ned Kelly. It's a story I know.
So Australians had outlaws known as bushrangers. That was the name for it. And like that term should make a comeback. People who are fans of pubic hair, bushrangers. Right? Like
hell yeah.
That's how it goes.
I will say bushrangers does just sound like, in a movie you can't use Boy Scouts because it's trademarked. So they'll leave it to Beaver Kids like I'm a bushranger. Yeah.
So bushrangers were these like semi like gentleman outlaws.
Like a Doc Holliday type.
Exactly. Yeah.
Classic gamblers.
A Jesse James-ish, sort of folk hero. You know?
Absolutely.
And so like Ned Kelly was an Irish Australian. The Irish were treated very poorly by the English. He was unjustly imprisoned at a young age for some trumped up bullshit.
Yeah.
When he came out of jail, he was on the shit list of the English who just kept treating him and his family like garbage until tensions escalated to a number of police deaths, which were common. Like
he was part of like a family, right?
Yeah. The Kelly gang, they were a bunch of brothers, bunch of cousins.
Yeah, it's similar to the James gang, similar to like Ma Barker, that kind of gang. That'd be like the American equivalent. Yeah.
But the big thing that they remembered for was for taking plowshares and fashioning Iron Man suits out of them.
Yes.
And then getting into just a straight up gunfight with cops that just dropped bodies.
And you can see the suit in some museum down there.
So I've been to it. I went to the Dubbo jail, spelled Gaol.
Just like Ireland.
I saw Ned Kelly's death mask. So the thing to do at the time was to paint a face with plaster Paris and then do an inverse of it. So I saw the Ned Kelly's death mask. They shaved him. They forcibly shaved him. He did have, I've seen a photo. He had a big glorious beard, but they shaved him to kill him. And his last words were "such is life."
Yeah.
Which is, it's similar to like a so it goes or what do you reckon?
Yeah.
Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk?
Well, I'll be damned.
Live, laugh, well, not live. that's if I get a chance at my own, it'll be live, laugh, well, not live, and then that's it. So that was Ned Kelly.
And just so people understand, when we say it's an Iron Man suit, we're not kidding.
No.
It looks exactly like the Black Knight from Monty Python and the Search for the Holy Grail.
So like Dubbo is in the middle of nowhere and there's like the Dubbo jail. Up in North Queensland, there's a town called Balaclava. And on the way to Balaclava, there's like a 60-foot statue of Ned Kelly.
Fuck yeah,
it's amazing.
dude.
Hold on. There's a town known for robbery called Balaclava. A rose by any other name.
Correct.
That's
Well, my question is, how's their baklava?
Ooh, balaclava. Yeah.
Dolosh.
Yeah. I mean, God, this thing, we'll put up a picture right there so people can see it. I mean, it is.
Oh, yeah. So he
quite literally.
He also wore it with a big old duster. So he would have looked like Fallout, the New California Republic Rangers.
The Zodiac Killer. Except his mask is fucking iron and bulletproof.
Full plate.
But he didn't put kneecaps on it, and that was his downfall.
Yeah, you gotta go full plate, dude.
Yeah. And they all. There wasn't just one. There was like 4 of these things, right?
Oh, yeah. And they shot so many cops that day. Yeah.
It's I think that was what happened at the Bank of America bank robbery in North Hollywood in 1997. The guy had so much body armor on, but not the fucking legs. Cover the legs, guy.
Cover the legs or build yourself a killdozer. That's
exactly.
Killdozer.
Yeah, it was the time period killdozer.
Or don't
basically.
take what's that? Like, what was it? Like, they basically took benzodiazepine, right? That the one guy was
the Killdozer guy?
No. The L.A. the Hollywood Mets, the shootout guys.
Oh, I think they just did a bunch of coke.
No.
Right?
One of them had like anti-seizure medication, were like downers,
Oh,
and they
okay.
took those to calm them down. So while you're watching it, you can kind of see them start to kind of like
Slow down.
slow down a bit, and then that one. And then there's that one shot where the guy, it looks like the guy's gun jammed, and he looks at it, and then he goes boop, and he fucking murks himself. You've not seen this? No.
Oh yeah,
Wow, it is.
It's kind of the birth.
When
of-
my cousins put on Faces of Death, I turned it off. I didn't want that living inside of me
No,
as a young
it's-
man.
This is way beyond. This isn't like gruesome. This is like from a news helicopter.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I would say the North Hollywood shootouts.
Yeah. Welcome to the United States.
I would say the North Hollywood shootout is probably, usually in the top 5 of whenever they would show the craziest things ever caught on camera
So,
kind of thing.
This is why cops need MRAPs.
There was an incident in Australia called the Father's Day Massacre.
Oh,
which,
Jesus.
happened on Father's Day. 2 biker gangs. We call them bikies.
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 Yeah.
2 bikie gangs.
That sounds
Arced
so
up on
cute.
each other.
I
and-
love how cute that
and
is
like
for the scariest
so
thing.
many
Yeah.
people died. So like that, and there was also like a
like a
mass
Bluey
shooter in like Tasmania, I think, and he killed like a lot.
Oh, the
of
Port
people.
Arthur, yeah.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Port Arthur massacre.
They
So
just-
after those 2 things, the Australian government was like, let's not do guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just not do guns.
They
And
just
so-
finished a good series about that on last podcast on the left, and they never, in all the things I've seen about the Port Arthur massacre, boy, they never talk about what a fucking gigantic loser that guy
Yeah.
was. Like,
Yeah.
like a colossal, legendary.
He
like,
was very much like the archetype of the incel before that was even a thing. Like
it's
same as
crazy.
the Columbine kids who
Yeah.
like they kept saying like that they were picked on, and then you look into it some more and you're like, no, these guys were just fuckwits.
They were
Like,
bullies.
People
Yeah.
turned
Bullies,
against them
yeah.
because
Yeah.
they were the bullies. They
Yeah.
were entitled fuckwits.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because a lot of times the people who do mass shootings, you're like they're always weird, but with that guy, you're like, damn, he's hitting all the buttons,
Right,
He's
every
all of
single
them.
box, yeah.
yeah, and he was pioneer in horrifying violence.
One of my favorite bushranger stories was Captain Moonbeam, who robbed a bunch of banks and then
Sorry.
then his name was Captain Moonbeam.
Yes,
Hey, everybody, put
And,
your hands up, man.
He was a native Australian, and so part of his story is that he went back to like the place where his mum was because like he didn't really get on with, but he loved his mum, and he took his mum and they just went and lived out in the bush, and then stayed, and like she passed away eventually of old age, and then he kept living out there in the bush, and then eventually he passed away of old age.
Whoa, they never caught him?
They never caught him.
Wow.
They like found and like there's been a few. Like there was even one in modern times of a guy who lived in the bush for like 20 years on the run.
God
from like the
damn.
1980s to the
I keep
2000s. So
forgetting
like it
how
was a throwback.
Fucking huge Australia is.
But yeah, oh no, it's a big country. Yeah,
the bush
and like
is
if
most
you
of
can,
it.
Yeah.
if you can survive in the bush, like it's a hard country. It's hot. There's bugs. There's
Every biting, fucking venomous thing.
There's toxic leaves. There's rocks that'll kill you.
Toxic
Like if you
Yeah,
can,
dude.
if you can survive that, then there's nothing that can kill you.
The leaves
So,
are
like,
sentient and they fly.
I've seen
trees
that.
will strangle
You're
you.
joking, but there's some stick insects.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
I was like, just
Hell yeah,
trees
man.
and yeah.
And they're vampirous. Vampiric.
One day, my house was just covered in like these moths, but they were attached to what looked like cockroaches, and no, they weren't cicadas.
Whoa.
And they were just covering my entire house, my whole house, like my house.
And you
is
were like in a city too.
yeah,
That's
well,
the best.
I was a
like-
little bit out of the city in that place,
Still,
but
that's
yeah,
great. Yeah.
just blanketing out the sky. Just there was some swarms.
It's like me going to Pomona and being like, Jesus, at the flying squirrel killers,
Yeah.
the flying killer squirrels.
Oh, we got sugar gliders too, though. Like that's a little marsupial mouse
Yeah.
that can
yeah,
glide.
yeah.
So like they're endangered because they're.
Yeah, I've
they're,
seen some.
but
I've
they're
seen
cute.
some
Yeah.
cokeheads with sugar gliders around here. I know
That is
yeah.
a common drug dealer thing to have. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's snakes and lizards.
If they're not
Yeah.
into snakes, they got sugar gliders. Yeah.
So there was a bunch of people smuggling them out of the country. I remember, like in school, they showed us a bunch of different ways. One of the ways they got bananas. And they cut the bananas open and they took the banana out and then they wrapped the sugar glider up so that it was like up in a little ball and they stuffed them inside the banana.
Aw,
and like,
man.
yeah, I'm like, that's awful.
That's so
like,
cute.
yeah.
That's how Bashar
But then,
Assad
like, they-
smuggled speed. Goddamn.
Poor little sugar gliders
little sugar
snuggled
gliders.
away inside of bananas.
Yeah, yeah, saving them from all the poisonous shit. They're gonna eat them anyway.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, the only ones we got down here are fucking water moccasins in that lake.
Yeah.
In fact, I was
There's
I was
probably copperheads and stuff too.
I mean,
the
not around-
woods back there.
yeah, but I don't fuck with that.
I've seen, opossums around here. We've got
they're
like
fine.
marsupial possums in Australia.
Yeah.
One day I
Ours
saw
are
a
marsupials too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Want to know a fun fact
But
about
our
opossums?
ones are cuter. Yeah, they're the only marsupials that you guys have, isn't it?
A,
Yeah.
and B, their body temperature is so cold they can't support most parasites.
Oh, interesting.
That affect
Yeah.
mammals. Yeah.
So like our possums are a lot cuter. Like the marsupial face is like it's similar. The kangaroos
To
are
each their
a
own.
bit stretched out, and they have the marsupial mouth that's the same.
Yeah.
Like they don't look like your guys' possums.
Oh, they
but,
got the flat face with the
that's
big
it,
eyes
yeah.
and shit.
But I was
You
walking
mean
down.
they don't hiss and spit at you when you look at them?
Well, I was walking down my garden path, and this possum was walking on its hind feet with his big old belly out along the path towards me. And he sees me, and he stops, and he gets down on all fours, and sideways steps off the path and puts one hand on a branch. And I just walked past him like slowly, and then I turned around and looked back, and he let go of the branch, got back onto the path, and kept walking up the path.
For
Awesome.
And I was like, I'm
simulation.
going to tell so many people this story every time I go on a podcast.
They're lying.
I'm
Fuck
telling
yeah.
someone
The
this story. The
possums-
possums, they walk on their
possums are
hind
lying.
feet.
They're
They got their
bipedal.
big old belly out front. It's adorable.
Oh, they're bipedal, folks. The liberal media is lying to you about possums walking on all fours.
It's like a tanuki, but without the giant nuts.
Oh my god. Oh well.
Australia rules.
Australia rules. Shout out to Australia.
South Africa, 1901. He was known as Breaker Morant, a gallant soldier fighting a harsh war.
New orders. No prisoners. The gentleman's war is over.
Edward Woodward and Jack Thompson in Breaker Morant. When the empire he served made him a scapegoat, they made him into a legend. Breaker Morant, rated PG.
Starts Friday at a select theater near you. Check newspapers.
Y'all, we have time for just one more segment. And of course, this is our jam of the week. Some might say this is low-hanging fruit. Some might say this is an easy layup. But folks, we haven't talked Nickelback since the Corona Diaries.
Oh, fuck, Rivers.
I waited 4 goddamn years to bring it back, folks. This is, of course, How You Remind Me. We never covered this one somehow.
Ow.
Wow.
We covered the I like your pants around your feet. We covered that one.
The most sexually aggressive Christian song.
Yeah.
And we covered Look at this photograph. So those are the two we covered. We have not covered their biggest hit from 2001, Silver Side Up.
What an oversight.
I know, right? 582 million views on this video, 68,556 comments, and I read every goddamn last one of them.
Rivers,
That's correct.
this is an intervention you heard.
Yeah.
yourself.
Why do you
My brain is dookie. I have no more thoughts. Wrap me up. Ship me to Argentina.
do this? He doesn't have religion. He has this.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, every man needs a ritual, I guess.
So first up, Timothy B from 8 months ago. Let's see what the people have to say about Nickelback's This Is How You Remind Me. Timothy B, 8 months ago. This needs song for Street Devil movie.
I'm sorry, what?
This
let me. What was son of a bitch go? This needs song
This
for
need song for Street Devil movie.
Exclamation point.
Okay, now there's a chance this person's English is not their first language.
Second language.
Yeah,
But-
get it.
Street Devil movie. Here's the question, y'all. Are they talking Daredevil? Are they talking Fast and Furious? Which one? Could go either way. Both could be argued as Street Devils. We may never know. Sean Dupree, 7 years ago. Yeah. Rock, bitch! Damn! And roll.
Damn, and roll.
That's right.
It's,
And roll.
like it's an afterthought.
And
It's
roll.
roll.
Buddy.
You know what? Upon further reflection, and
roll.
Well, the capitalization is
Yeah.
funny because
Yeah.
and
Rock,
in roll.
bitch, exclamation point.
Yeah.
Damn and roll.
Yeah and roll are both lowercase, but then rock, bitch, damn are in all caps, which means I think he wrote, yeah, rock and roll, and then was like, That's pussy
You know,
shit.
bitch down, rock dip, bitch damn, and
damn,
roll.
I'm gonna crack another
And
fucking
right
ice
now,
house
a
edge.
sleeper agent has been awakened and is.
Well, that's why I just assume every one of these is happening. Like we are being used by the Russian government to make sleeper agents happen all over this hemisphere.
This one ends weird. Nukachu
Oh, yeah.
from 4 years ago. I love this song. I was 26 when this came out.
Oh,
Me and my cousin would cruise to this album and a few others, but only me and him. He always said no chicks. So we go smoke up some weed, talk shit about girls and people we'd love to shoot with disappearing ink from a super soaker. What? I was like, hold on, what was that last part?
So
what are you doing?
they disappear.
I didn't even consider that. I was thinking these were the lightest pranksters ever.
Okay, yeah.
Like, they're like,
I got something. Oh, it's
gotcha.
nothing.
Ooh, turns out.
or that it's
Okay,
Kanye and his
yeah.
cousin.
Ooh, does that line
I
up?
was 26. Yeah, I mean,
Timeline.
Probably.
answers. Yeah, me and my cousin would go cruise.
And we would shoot
and
invisible
say no
ink on
chicks.
people.
I mean, they were looking at those magazines, and then Kanye sucked that dude's dick.
Blueberry 1 month ago. They provoked me and then forced an apology. Don't provoke anyone. Happy Resurrection Day.
Oh, it's an Easter.
That's Easter.
Okay,
Yeah. I think
I get it. Yeah.
I think maybe he's Jesus. I don't know.
They provoked me.
Yeah. And then forced.
I believe
an
that's read in the King James
This
version.
is how you remind me that I need to go to church.
what Christ
That
really did.
You died for me.
Shay Cummings 3 years ago. Christ. I remember the very day this gym came out. I was 9. Finished school one day. Went out for dinner with my friend's house. Our mums were both drunk as hell. He. Me and Danny switched the music channel on, and this beauty came on. Hell yeah.
They're our age.
Fond alcoholic mom memories from Shay.
Fun wine mom memories.
Sean Dupree 5 years ago. I hate space, bitch.
Well, tell it like it is, Sean.
But fuck it. I'll go scuba diving again. Fuck yeah.
What? Also, I got to point out, this is the second Sean we've had, isn't it?
Oh, Sean's love Nickelback.
Sean's love Nickelback.
Yeah.
I was looking like,
Ladies love Cool J.
Oh, wait a minute.
Sean's love Nickelback.
Oh, I just realized that's Sean. It's both Sean Dupree.
Oh, they both.
That's
he was
bitch,
checking
rock
in
and roll.
again.
Oh my god,
He was just
yeah.
checking
wait,
in
how
again.
much time has passed between the two?
Yeah.
Oh, 2 years. So 7 years ago was rock bitch damn and roll.
2018.
2 years later,
2020.
He came back. Sean Dupree returned to say, "I hate space, bitch."
During the pandemic, Sean Dupree came back.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Upon further reflection, I hate
While
space.
I am-
bitch.
But I will go scuba diving. I've grown. You can't say I haven't grown as a person, baby.
I'm
Rhonda,
still wearing a suit with a full mask. Okay.
I'm not comfortable with the idea of weightlessness, but I will go scuba diving.
I'm just stuck in this trailer, Crystal. I'll go scuba diving. I don't give a fuck.
Wow. Usually I catch those. That was holy
was an
shit. That was,
organic one,
that was a
yeah.
little double.
Boom.
Metal face off 8 years ago.
This is the hardest dude ever.
I am so drunk right now. Call, and then he put a real phone number to tell my ex how dumb she is.
Oh man, doxing his ex.
Metal face off, not cool, man.
No.
That was pre-pandemic times. It was a different time in our
Yeah,
lives.
people used to just do that.
People just used to do that.
Virginia Schoaf 9 years ago. I wad drunk. You made sleep with the wrong man. It's like you like to say, I'm gonna make you pay for gay forcefully because that's what you deserve. My hatred. Virginia.
Wow.
Someone had a breakup.
Virginia's got a tale to tell about her breakup.
Ginny's.
I-
Oh, Ginny.
It's weird. It says made you sleep with the wrong man. Is there a right man for him to cheat on you with, lady?
I'm going to make you pay for gay forcefully.
Right?
I guess that means she's going to sue him for. I don't know.
Well, the story. like the story is like he cheated on her with a man, right?
Yeah.
To your question, like, this is a big wide world out there, and
Right.
polyamory does exist.
Yeah.
So, like, technically, there is a man who would be he would say, you have to go have a talk with your wife before this goes any further because
Right.
I'm not comfortable with that. And then she'd get permission. Then they'd bang it out. Then the
Yeah.
marriage is saved.
Yeah, whereas this motherfucker apparently did not talk to Jimmy.
No, he said, just sleep with me. Do not tell your wife. Let her figure it out in the Nickelback's comment section.
This guy, William Gardner Hilton Head from 12 years ago.
Wow.
Wonder where he lives. When I was going through my divorce, I would listen to The Rooster by Alice in Chains at least 3 times in a row every day.
God damn, dude.
It was like getting cut up with an M60. That bitch cut me up and put me down the garbage disposal. LOLOLOLOLOL. Now I like photograph. He spelled photograph GRAGH. And How You Remind Me by Nickelback. Funny how things change.
Oh, buddy. You.
Alice in Chains is just getting divorced music.
Yeah.
Nickelback is being divorced for a while. music.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the sound of a woman spreading her wings after too long of a relationship.
JJB 10 months ago.
JBB.
I think I seen Nickelback in Buffalo. I was rounding a corner on my bike and I seen that guy.
Did he call the
That
fucking
could just be anyone from Buffalo.
No, he's calling Chad Kroger Nickelback, which I love.
It's like he's calling the fucking Darius Rucker Hootie.
He said, I rounded a corner on my bike and I seen a guy that looked exactly like Nickelback and he flashed me a peace sign and I'm like, damn, was that Nickelback or am I crazy? I mean, I think he's Canadian, so I'm not really sure why he's in Buffalo, but I swear Nickelback was in Buffalo.
I mean, it's not that far.
Maybe he's visiting relatives. I don't know, but
It's on the other side of the lake.
it's pretty cool to see Nickelback. If that's a bit, that's a great bit. I looked at his profile and I was like, it seems.
I saw Nickelback in Glastonbury. Oh, well, I saw Nickelback in Buffalo. He was just on the street eating a sub.
Flash me the peace sign. I don't know why it was across the border. Damn it.
Got a few more here. Karen G 2 months ago.
Oh,
this one,
buddy, a Karen.
this
Hooray.
one, this one gets steamy.
Ooh.
I love my Nickelback.
Oh, she's one.
They are one of the great cosmic mothers.
What?
Favorite songbirds of mine. We absolutely love and appreciate these guys. One of my favorite groups. I love how hard he sings. And hard is in quotations. His vocal strength is so sexually masculinized. This is a full-grown man right here. He's not going to play at all. Proceed with great caution. Karen, you're getting 100 steps ahead of yourself in regards to Chad Kroger railing you.
And Karen, you need to put the yellow tail away.
This is a public comment section. This is not an email to Chad Kroger.
Yeah.
And Karen, we haven't even started dessert yet, man. Come on. You gotta wait for this kind of shit till the kids go to bed.
I love the line. He is not going to play at all. Like, you have played this scenario in your head every day for 25
this is
years.
going to be very serious.
Since this video came out, you're like, oh yeah, there's no.
This is how you remind me that it's going down.
She's just gonna corner you on the bus, be like, "No, really, watch this video of them. Like, can you see it? Can you see it? I'm gonna ride this motherfucker so hard." I saw Nickelback in Buffalo.
Bish 1009, 15 years ago. I'm 15. This person's now 30.
Fuck you, time.
I'm 15. I'm 6 foot, and I've been taking taekwondo. I take after my stepdad. And I was like, I don't think you can take after your stepdad. That's a genetics thing. Yeah. I take after my stepdad, who learned these moves, and I've been taking these two martial arts for 5 years. And I'm as big as a 3-year ex-Marine that benches 350.
So his stepdad?
And I would enjoy kicking your ass.
Wow.
So, I love a 15-year-old who's spoiling for a fucking Donnybrook now.
If you're behind the Buffalo Wild Wings in Buffalo.
In Buffalo with Nickelback, I will fight you and then go home with him.
Nickelback will referee.
Well, I know about
Loser
River.
has to join the old-timey sea gentleman shanty band. Go to Nicaragua.
Well, I know about Rivers from 2010, and I know about being in 2010. He could definitely kick our ass if he met us in 2010.
Oh, for sure. Crystal Nicodemus from 7 years ago. I don't care about your dick. What a way to start.
What a fucking first sentence.
Or
Start in the action is what they tell you when you're writing about
media
prose.
res. Yeah. I don't care about your dick. Or Lucky Mike. Or TJ. Or Richard Horde Jr. Or Jerry Horde Jr. I was like, are they cousins? Do they both have dads that name them Jr.? I don't care about Richard Horde Jr., Jerry Horde Jr., and Jay. And TJ.
I hate your fucking friends, Roger.
you already said TJ. You must really hate TJ.
God.
And I don't care about your dick. You got it? You're not friggin' anything to me. None of you. I hate all of you and Mary Flynn. All of you. Stop it. All right. So
God damn, dude.
Crystal Nicodemus thought he was sending a text, but
Crystal Nicodemus needs to crack another ice house edge and go to bed.
yeah. Darth Chosen 3 years ago.
Oh, buddy.
I remember a friend of mine sitting around a campfire. He was drinking beers after his girlfriend left him. This song came on, and all we could tell was what he was feeling. I grabbed another cold one, threw it to him, said, fuck that bitch, man. You've got us, like... And then it just ends. I was like, did he die? He died and his head hit the enter
No.
button.
He throws the beer to him, it misses him, it lands in the fire, the beer explodes.
Yeah. There we go. It's I like a
Personal experience.
ambiguous ending.
Yeah.
And finally, debt paid in silver. And I'm not sure if that's a Nickelback reference, but
Is it like a Judas Iscariot?
Yeah.
yeah, maybe. But that wasn't a debt. That was a reward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vampirism, maybe?
Oh, who knows?
Who
but
the fuck knows?
At any rate, well, there was once a wise man who told me that all those who switch to pop music and abandon the music they loved originally, well, they're like blind men. They can't see what music has brought to us. Why let the spirit of rock and roll? It's like telling us rock fans, too bad. It's not allowed to be played anymore. And you know what? Screw that. I was born into this world of rock
Hell
and roll.
yeah.
Though I never knew until 5 years ago when I finally opened my eyes, saw the beauty of this world. Eternal rebels of rock, unite.
And this is still a Nickelback song.
Yeah, that's right.
This
Yeah,
is how you remind me to rebel.
Yeah, with rock and roll. And now I've said many times, I wish the biggest problem facing the world was people suppressing the power of rock and roll, the unbridled energy of the rock. But I do like that there are people out there, insane people, grant you, that live where that is the biggest problem in the world, is people don't like rock and roll enough. So
I love that this man awoke to the power of rock and roll in 2007.
yeah, that's right. This is like the birth of YouTube too. I went all the fucking way
man,
back.
yeah,
14
dude.
years ago. So
Jesus.
anyway, that is Chad Kroger and the boys from Canada. Shout out to everybody up in Vancouver who put up with me while I was there. I had such a good time visiting your lovely country. And that is our jam of the week. Hell yeah. Miles Bugg, where can people find you on the internet?
Don't.
All right. My favorite answer. Nick Morgan Moore, where can people find you on the internet?
Places where you put the name Nick Morgan-Moore and social media, the comedy me, you'll see me. I'm pretty distinct. I'm done. And if you want to read something that I wrote, there's a book called The Happy Ones.
I read it. It's fucking great. I've got it on my desk. And yeah, absolutely. It's fucking great.
Thank you. So check that out. The Happy Ones was stolen by three raccoons in a trench coat who published it under the name of Morgan West. I still care about the art, so get it anyway.
Hell yeah. But yeah, this is me at the end of my little run. So I wanted to say, I mentioned Vancouver. You guys were awesome. Seattle, Nobody's Peach. The bands,
They rule.
Ted, they fucking rule. Everybody in the band was so cool, and they put together a really, really fun show at a place called Pause for a Beer, which was a dog park bar where they had a stage, and it was just like a bunch of dogs running around. I had to, briefly pause my set to pet a dog, and everyone was completely understanding.
That sounds delightful.
It was
better than just pausing your set to pry a dog off your leg.
That's right. Yeah. It was lovely. So shout out to them, and shout out to everybody who put me up, and Andy Awancio, everybody who put me up anywhere on stage, gave me a couch to crash on. I had a really, really good time up in the Pacific Northwest and also in Huntsville. Shout out to Scott Eason, best damn comedy booker in the state up there at Levity Live, and Sports Drink. I cannot say enough about Sports Drink. Check out my Instagram. It's me standing in front of a bunch of Gatorade coolers. I've been dying to do that venue, and it did not disappoint at all. So thanks to everybody for everything on that little run. And now I'm going back to Los Angeles to give tours for the next 4 months straight. So nobody even think about letting me do comedy in that time. No,
do not call him. Do not contact him.
He is showing.
Don't even think about it.
He is showing tourists trash on the street.
And by trash, he means David Beckham.
Yeah, that's right. No, he's in Miami now. That's where.
Oh, what? Really?
That's where our trash goes. Fuck you, Florida. No. Shout out to everyone
just
in
like
Florida.
the rest of the country.
Shout out to the entire United States except for Florida.
That's right.
Fuck you, Florida.
No, we love it. Shout out to Dommy. We got listeners in Florida.
Yeah, that's true. I know some people in Pensacola who are cool as shit.
Absolutely. Yeah, hell yeah. Olivia Cersei.
That's Panhandle. We're talking
she's got a
Maine.
special out, didn't you know?
She does, yeah. Check out Olivia Cersei's special, Searcy. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram. I'm not really posting on that first one that much, but sometimes at Rivers Langley. And of course, you can buy a shirt, prowrestlingtees.com/thegoodspod. Make you look skinny on TV. Best way to support our show. Hey, if you're watching this, you're already doing it. It's patreon.com/thegoodspod. Second best way to support our show, head to Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave a comment, rate, review, and subscribe. Show the attitude of gratitude, because if you do not have the attitude of gratitude, Daddy, the Weller Man will never come to bring you sugar and tea and rum. The Goods from the Woods was recorded and edited by me, Rivers Langley. You can find our show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Our theme song was composed by Jonas, the Space Cowboy.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.